Congrats, the day has finally arrived. If you've been following the channel a while, you know that I guess I complain a lot about my Oculus Rift and Quest controllers because I hate the fact that there's batteries that you have to constantly replace. Now, some people like this. They say, oh, if they run out, you can just quickly hot swap them in. Well, I have the index style grips from AMBR. So to get my batteries out, I have to unhook this. Not terribly complicated. Take it off. Open the slot, and then I have springs inside, much stronger springs to help with the tracking so that the battery isn't moving around the compartment. So it's next to impossible for me just with my fingernail to get this out. So I usually have to use something to slide in there. I would never recommend using the controller plastic because you might hurt that. And then I can finally get my battery out. Like I said, I've been whining about this a while. You all know it. I know it. Finally, a company has come out with a solution. ONG Innovations has made the Oculus Touch V2 charging adapter. Now there's two versions of this. One we're going to check out today, while the other we're hopefully going to check out once it's back in stock. These just launched, they're new, they sold quick because I'm not the only one who hates this about the controllers apparently. Let's open these up and see what they've got going on. As per usual, always have a small, sharp unboxing knife so you're not going to hurt yourself or anyone around you when you're unboxing something. We've got a receipt. With shipping, I did pay $54 for these, so it's not cheap, but I'm counting on the fact that this is going to change my life when it comes to VR. Don't need that. All right. So here's one of our first battery doors right here. Still has the magnets in place, definitely 3D printed. A little rough looking, but not bad. That has a hole in it, so that the part that's going to be able to charge, it's going to go right through there and be able to charge. Now here's where the magic happens. USB rechargeable Li-ion batteries, 1.5 volts, that's good because we've seen before 1.5 volts seems to help with the tracking. They got a 3D printed thing on the side and then that piece right there that's going to be the charger. So basically these are going to sit inside and it's going to leave that exposed to where we can snap on a charger and charge these up without ever having to take the battery door off again. Super excited. So here's the charger right here. Works off one USB, splits to both of them. Magnetic. Ooh, I love it. It just snaps right in place. And look at the length right there. There's extra length sticking out. That's going to be perfect for what I'm going to be trying to do because I am also going to take this a step further. I'm going to cut holes in my index style grips to where I never have to take them off again and I can just pop these in and charge. We'll do that later in the video. And that's it. Unboxed. Simple enough kit, should be easy to install. Let's get it in the controllers. So now I guess I'm no longer going to need my stock battery doors, so I'm going to set those aside and keep those in case of a rainy day. Now, one question, is one left and one right? I imagine it has to be, and I don't see any labeling on here. So one thing I am gonna slightly fault them for here, these are 3D printed, they're based after the original ones. They're close, but they are not perfect. You can kind of see that right there. See that edge? So like if you were someone who's playing this without any sort of grips, any sort of skins, that could be a problem for you because that's gonna feel, you're gonna feel that ridge. So luckily for me, I'm using these index style grips. These are gonna cover that up. It's not gonna be a problem for me. Something to consider if you don't use any sort of grips. Now I don't, like I said, I don't clearly know which one's which here. Would have been nice to have some sort of direction on that, so I guess we're just going to try one and then try the other and see what happens. What I'll do is I'll take my spring out to make this easier. Okay, so it becomes pretty clear when you try to put it in, it's obviously not that one. And when you get it in there, what I like, there's not very much play at all. It doesn't turn to the sides also, it shouldn't be an issue there. And that is exposed. We got the magnet right here. Boom, snaps right in place. It's perfect. Okay, now, like I said, you got the problem with this ridge right here. I don't love that, but everything else about it seems to be going together just fine. And no matter how I fiddle with it, that ridge always sticks out. So that is one slight flaw. I'm gonna look past it because I'm hoping for this to change my life still. I am gonna take my battery out. I'm gonna get my spring back in there for that better tracking. And I'm gonna push these down in here. And like I said, hopefully never change my freaking batteries ever again. Hopefully that was the last time right there. These do come with at least some charge. We don't know how much, but I can tell right there the light's already on. It's already running. definitely, if you're gonna get these, if you don't have a set of grips, get some grips. You're gonna wish you had them. I'll go over a couple sets of grips later on in the video, so for those of you who don't want to be here for that. But like the Asterion silicone grips would cover this up. You wouldn't notice this. The index style AMVR ones I have that I love, those would work, but you would have to cut a hole pretty much in any grip you're gonna use if you want to not ever have to take that off again. Okay, next controller. You take a look at these, and these are as close to identical, I feel like, as they could be. There is a ridge there that's missing for some reason, probably because of the hole there. But like they definitely scanned and 3D printed them and tried. It's just sometimes with 3D printers, curves and stuff don't exactly land the same. So let's see if this one turns out better. There we go. That one is in. Very little play, just like the other one. Battery door goes on. Much less of a ridge on this one. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna kind of be on a case-by-case basis, even from one to the next. They may fit really well, you may end up with a ridge. This one would be doable. You could play with this without a grip on it, but we're not gonna do that. Same thing here, we got the magnet, boom. Now my next question I'm wondering is there an indicator somehow on here? Does this light up red when I plug it on if they're not charged and green when it's done? How do I know? Interesting, it splits off right from the USB. So I mean, you've got tons of space if you wanted to do something weird with this. I'm gonna plug this in real quick, and like I said, we're gonna find out if there's some sort of an indicator. It's a nice long cord. It's about 6 feet long, I like that. Okay, so we got blue lights on them so far. We snap it on there, what happens? Light stays on blue. So at least the blue light tells us we have power to this, but it doesn't necessarily tell us anything more. Okay, so in charging these, there was one more thing I wanted to add a quick note to the video. There is actually a battery indicator inside of these. Now, it's kind of weird, so even without my grips on here, it's hard to see. Let me show you real quick though. There's a little light inside. It's pretty hard to see in there. It's green when they're fully charged. The best way to see it is without the battery door on at all. So once you see where that is, you can kind of see it more easily from the outside. So you'll know, hey, those are fully charged now. But it's not totally obvious. And so they did turn green when they were fully charged. I've been unplugging it and messing with it since. And so now they're showing red, plus they're on because I moved them. But there is a little light indicator inside, and even with the skin on, I can still see it in there. But you do have to know where to look. So I did want to add that note. So there is a battery indicator. It's not the most obvious the way they designed it, but it is there. So you'll be able to tell when your controllers are charged, ready to play. Back to the video. We're gonna get our skins back together. I'm gonna try and put a hole in them just in the right spot to where I can snap these on. And if that works out, we're never taking our skins off ever again. Now the hardest part of this process is gonna be to determine exactly where to drill. Now, if you had something like the Asterion grips that I talked about, this would be way easier because they're just silicone, be able to feel it. I'm gonna have to compare it to the other one, measure it, and then cut a small hole, figure out exactly where I'm going from there, make the hole bigger. So I went and grabbed my other controllers just to show you what I'm talking about. These are the Asterion skins right here. So something like these would be really easy to slip on here, and then you can easily feel, you can just push in and feel right there where that would be. So it'd be easy to just cut a small hole in these. You might risk some of the integrity of these since they're silicone. It could end up ripping long term, but that would be an easy solution, something that I will definitely do when I get my second set. I do not recommend trying what I am about to do unless you are used to modifying things. I used to work on cars a lot. I'm still no pro at modifying, but I do not recommend trying this unless you are pretty certain of what you're doing. We're gonna be a good example here. Wear some safety goggles. Good example. So what I'm doing right now, because this is plastic, but it's not super hard plastic, I'm using something sharper to push and find the innermost point that I can push in on that hole. And it's right there. So from that marked spot, I'm gonna now drill a hole in there. Okay, so there's hole number one. Probably cut it a teeny bit bigger than we needed to, but should make it easy to just plug it right on. Charger goes right in there and hooks on. So now I don't take my grips off again. I can just do this. With this hole, I can slightly feel it, but because of where it lands in my hand, it's not very noticeable. It's right over this knuckle. So I notice the hole's there, but it's not gonna bother me. So I'm good with that. I'm really happy. that was the last time, hopefully, I will ever change my right controller battery. And now with that back on there and feeling good, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. As long as I just remember after I finish playing, plug this guy in, leave it sitting there on the desk. Next time I go to play, it'll be fully charged and ready to go. I won't have to be changing batteries anymore. One done. So that hole came out a lot nicer looking. I'm probably still gonna polish it up just a little bit in there, but checking it right now, clicks in there just fine. So again, I'm gonna plug both these in. I'm never gonna have to change my batteries again. I'm so freaking excited. I can't even tell you because it's been driving me crazy for the entire life I've had the controllers. Okay, look at that. Grips are on. These fit just fine in there. That'll be the last time I've ever changed my Quest or Rift S batteries. So this set right here that has the plug-in cord, this will cost you $49, plus it was $5 to ship it. Now, the really cool one that I'll show you a picture of here, it costs $79 and they sit in there. Two problems that I see with that one. I prefer to play my controllers with grips on, with either index grips or skins, something like that. Now this other one, it looks like the way it's gonna sit in the stand, it's gonna have to sit perfectly in there. It probably wouldn't work with grips or skins at all. I just don't think it will with the way that it looks in the picture. It looks like they're gonna sit down in there. Even the thin skins I showed you would probably be too much to make it sit in there just right. So probably won't work with that. The other thing to think about though, so since the 3D printed part on one of them, it had kind of a ridge, it didn't fit perfectly. If you were to have that one and it was to sit in there and charge all the time, and then you were to take it out and have to use it in your hands, you might notice that ridge and that might be annoying. So personally for me, I actually think the cheaper option is the better option. I think the other one looks better, but I think this is the smartest way to go because I'm not gonna have to deal with that ridge. I'm not gonna feel it. I'm gonna have these controllers always ready to charge and go for it. I'm gonna try and get my hands on one of those stands just to review it for you and show it to you. I've reached out to the person that made these. I bought these myself. They didn't send these to me. There was nothing like that. I'm kind of hoping maybe on the second one I can get like a review copy or a loaner or something just to review it, because honestly for me, I know long term it's not going to work because I want to use skins or grips. I'll probably be buying another one of these with my own money myself just to keep my other controllers charged all the time. So let me know what you think out there. If you want these, if you didn't know they existed, if you knew they've been coming and you're waiting for them, what did you think? Does this change the game for you? Because for me, this just makes me look forward to playing in VR even more, knowing I'm not gonna have to freaking worry about my batteries all the time. And I hope Oculus learns from this and the next gen does not have changeable batteries, but has really good, powerful, big batteries that will last up to 5 or 10 hours in a play session if you were to play that long, that are built in. It comes with a mounting dock to put them in and they charge. You're good to go. So that's my feelings, that's my opinion. Let me know what yours is in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I will see you in another reality. I want to say the biggest ever thank you to our now 4 patrons: K27, Rocket Sauce 28, Fred Nepetebo, Ege Karnatash. Thank you so much, all of you. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's unboxing time. Oh, I know. Go on. Go on.